Hello and welcome to Photo Feedback Forum. In this episode, we're going to look at a couple macro shots that both employ razor thin focal planes. We have this flower right here, and we have this bee photo here. I'd like to thank the makers for submitting these photos so that we can learn from them. If you would like to submit a photo, please use this link and get me one of those images, and maybe you'll see it in an upcoming episode. All right, let's get going. So when shooting this close, the subject's size on the sensor increases dramatically. The closer the focus, the greater the magnification, and the shallower the depth of field becomes. This can be an artistic decision, like I think the flower was, or it can be out of necessity, like I think the bee image probably was. If the photographer wanted to get more of the flower in focus, they could focus stack a number of images and get the whole thing in focus from back to front. The bee likely wouldn't have been so cooperative to stand still for a number of images to focus stack. But with some modern cameras, they can burst and focus stack in camera, so it is not impossible. So this photographer had a couple options. Get in and shoot close. One of the biggest advantages of this plan is so they could help compose the image or wait until the composition happened. Or they could have backed up and taken the shot and cropped in post. This would have been at the cost of some resolution, and it would have been more difficult to get this nuanced composition that the maker ended up with. One aspect of macro that makes it such an engaging type of photography is accessibility. A park down the street contains a multitude of subjects, or just pick up some flowers from the local shop and bring them home. And if these photos were entered into a salon, here's how I would score them. So this flower image here, compositionally, I'm going to give it a 17. I like the space on the three sides. Three sides there. I wish there was a little more space down here. I like the fact that it is off center. We're going to do our quick rule of thirds there, kind of over, not quite center. We have enough space over here. The bokeh balls back here echo the main subject. I think that works pretty well. The lighting, 18, nice and diffused. It fits the subject very well. Technical, again. So this is an artistic decision. This maker decided just focusing on this area here and letting this area go out of focus. Again, focus stacking. This would have been a picture. This, all the way down, and the whole thing would have been in focus, and it would have had a different vibe. I'm actually okay with how this came out. Impact, it's a well, impact in storytelling. This is kind of a zen flower image. There's not a lot going on with the impact of the storytelling. It is nice. I think it would look decent hanging up in a kitchen somewhere. So overall, this one gets an 87. B image. This composition is going to get an 18, lighting 18, technical 18, and then impact and storytelling are 19. This one gets a total of 92. So compositionally, why an 18? I mean, there is no wiggle room here. We are locked in on the B. There is no getting around it. There's no moving around, and that is quite intentional. The square crop also keeps us bound into this area here. There's no distractions back here. The B helped out with the antenna feelers, whatever they are, coming down. That splits it up nicely. The lighting, again, nice and even throughout it. That works. Technical, also 18. If I had to do anything, I'd maybe crank the dehaze a little bit to make the background here, this part, a little bit darker. The B would retain its lightness. I think there'd be a little more separation. Not a huge deal, but that's something to consider. That and knock down the saturation here on the leaves because they are pretty potent. Impact and storytelling. Yeah, I mean we are face to face, eyeball to eyeball with this bee, and it's something you don't see every day. So that makes it quite interesting. So the bee photo got more points than the flower photo. Is the bee photo better? Well, using these 5 criteria, yes, it scored more points. But at the end of the day, the real value of these photos and really any photos is what the maker put in and what the viewer gets out of it. Or to put it in the tried and traditional phrase, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So those are my thoughts on these macro shots, both very well done. Once again, thank you to the makers for sending them in. And if you would like to send in a photo, please use the link in the description. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.